Hey gaming fans, so today's video, I just want to talk a little bit about Toon World and the Toon monsters, and just on how they operate. And I was just thinking about how they probably could have done it a little bit better, knowing that the way the game plays today, and all the different kinds of monsters we have. Toons was one of those first archetypes where they really did separate themselves from regular monsters in a sense that they did require a specific card on the field, like Toon World. And we have a lot of great Toons nowadays, a lot of better, more improved ones, but the original ones that came out just weren't, they just didn't cut it. Of course they had to cut back on their power. If you compare them to the anime, for instance, when Pegasus played the Toon World card, it operated a lot different, especially in the very beginning, compared to what we ended up getting in the TCG, where the card itself really doesn't do anything. It just allows you to start summoning Toons from your hand. We did get some support cards over the years that made it better, like Toon Briefcase and Comic Hand and stuff like that. And of course we got Toon Kingdom, which really amped it up a bit, gives them protection. It's a field spell, it's not just a continuous spell. So you got searchers and stuff for it, and we have Toon Index and Toon Bookmark and all these other great Toon cards. But I was thinking, no matter what they do, it just seems like the Toons could never really function on their own. The deck, it's always been a casual deck, never been a tournament deck, at least not until, today's standards. It's still not a tournament deck. But I was trying to think of, I was looking at some of the older printings of it, and, like these are the ones. This is the one I had from the Pegasus structure deck back in the day. I remember ordering this right from Japan, actually. I got these before Toons were even in the TCG. I ordered the deck, and I remember having a book that transcribed all these cards because I didn't know exactly what a lot of them did. And Toon World at the time had a different printing. It originally had a printing of you had to pay 500 life points each turn, or else the card was destroyed, and then you would get all your life points back. And then I was thinking about it, what would actually make this better? What would actually make Toon World better? What would actually make Toons better? And if you look at the way the anime did it, especially like in the very beginning, I'm talking about the first time you actually saw Pegasus play Toon World, not the later on when he started to play the Toon Gemini Elf and all that. The Toons weren't actually cards themselves. They were the actual original card played to the field, and then they became Toons. For instance, we got Dark Magician Girl here, would become Toon Dark Magician Girl. Gemini Elf became Toon Gemini Elf, and, Mass Sorcerer became Toon Mass Sorcerer. But in the TCG, you actually have these as physical cards you have to put in your deck. You have to play the Toon card in your deck. What if we changed it? What if they changed it, I should say? And just like we have an extra deck, you have a Toon deck. And so you would put your Toon decks, your Toon cards, in its own separate deck. Near the extra deck, I wouldn't say put them in the extra deck. I mean, that's a possibility too. But I mean, having their own deck. And then the way to actually summon them would be to play Toon World. And then if the real Gemini Elf was on the field, you would swap it out with the deck, the Toon deck, with its Toon counterpart. And just to make it even better, see, one of the problems with Toons is once your opponent destroys Toon World, your Toon goes poof. All your hard work of summoning these Toons are destroyed. So what if it was, if your opponent destroys Toon World or removes it from the field, you get your originals back, which was kind of how they functioned in the anime. Now, this would probably give Toons a little bit more of a competitive edge if, you didn't need Toon World to actually play the monsters, and there was no real drawback to your opponent just MSTing the Toon World. So all you had to play was Gemini Elf in your deck, you summon it, and then if you have Toon World on the field, or if you don't, if you play it that turn, then you just swap it out with the one in the side deck. Now, that could be something that people could experiment. I mean, we're doing newer formats, and we're doing older formats, I should say, all the time. We're playing, you know, people are playing Goat format and Edison format, and I'm sure people go and create their own formats. So this would be kind of an interesting experiment to see, you know, if people could actually do that. If you create a Toon deck and play with the kind of rules that the Toons actually come from the original card. This was just kind of like a thought experiment. I just wanted to see what your thoughts would be, because I was just trying to think, like, how could they have made Toons a little bit better? How could they have made them more like their cartoon counterpart? And, you know, making Toon World actually more relevant than just it sits there doing nothing and you have to then summon your Toons in your deck. I mean, things would change, obviously, because the problem with Toon Table of Contents wouldn't be able to search. It would have to search a card that has a Toon counterpart instead. Things like that. So, I mean, you'd have to really work around it, because these cards obviously have already been printed. This is the way they work. You know, this is the way Konami decided to make them. But I was just thinking, what could make them a little bit better and more interesting? Let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below, because I was just thinking about it. I thought this would be cool if the Toons had their own Toon deck, and then all you needed was Toon World on the field to summon them, or Toon Kingdom for that matter. I mean, Toon Kingdom counts as Toon World, and then, you know, you can summon your Toons. And then if Toon World gets destroyed or leaves the field or whatever, you get your monsters back. Now, obviously, that could be a little bit of a overpower, like if you were able to do it in the battle phase. So you'd have to have some restraints, like maybe it has to be your opponent destroying it, or the Toons come back at the end of turn, or the Toons come back and you end your battle phase. You know, something to stop from being able to attack with, say, the Toon counterparts, then MSTing your own Toon World, and then getting 4 more monsters back to the field to attack with them too. That would be kind of nutty. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. So throw some comments down below if you think it would be a good idea. Maybe some people can actually try it and see if it works. Anyways, that was my idea. Throw some comments down below. Hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.